Los geht's, Diggi, yeah.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Alles kannst du helfen.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question? Are you out of your mind? Twins?
Also,
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things. Okay. And Eleanor.
ja. Eleanor.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just... Yes.
Das ist ja aber ganz normal wieder. Ah. Ah. Wie es mit Absicht macht. So mit Absicht. Ah. 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 Alles gut. Ah. Alles gut. Alles gut. Okay. Was?
Yes.
Sister.
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that. My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Und dann hatten die Streit dadurch und dann ist es eskaliert. Dann sagt sie, erst sagt sie, dass sie im Haus geblieben ist, dann sagt sie, dass sie nicht im Haus geblieben ist. Ja, das kann natürlich sein, aber...
I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Er hat noch vorhin irgendwelche anderen Namen. Das ist nicht mehr so.
He's married couple stuff. A stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to. No.
No.
I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way. Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock. Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Speichern wir mal und gucken mal nach Dings. Ellen. Ah. Gut.
It's the Rockington Arms. The Rock. Drinks.
Susan. Was soll ich noch googeln? 8 o'clock. 8. Okay.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Okay, ja, super. So.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3. About 8 years back. It was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
Einmal nur ein Mann.
Okay.
Was ist denn die Scheiße?
Next to me.
Richtig was aufgespeichert. Sie erzählt.
Different. So I was always the one. I wasn't. So.
Mal schauen.
He still wasn't that listening.
The Rock. Oh yeah.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess The Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone Simon knew from The Rock.
Saturday.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And I... Excuse me. Is there a bin? Yes. He left after the argument. It was about... No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on.
26.94. Sind wir beide schwanger oder sie spielt nur so? Is there a bin? Some bin?
It was late. Early Saturday morning. Well, a week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Sunday. It's Sunday again. It's on a Sunday again.
So, since he still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't. Saturday afternoon, they had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone.
Ja, so. Evidenz. Evidenz.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the doctor. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
No.
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Lüge.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting, waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband.
What husband?
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
Yes.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine. I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's
Dead.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead, it doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Oxford. Hallo, lass mich mal das
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband. I haven't been into work.
Dann ist Brother. Nicht.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford. There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford.
Yes.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
Raus. Mal schauen. So. Jetzt ist die Frage, was hat mir gestern noch so findet?
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford.
Nächste.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him.
Eins. Okay. Da, was war das gestern noch? Vietnam. Dollhaus.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there. Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out. I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name. Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? It's a real-life fairy tale. It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. Yes, like a story. A beginning, a middle, and an end. Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends. Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents. Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour? And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends, and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can. Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories. Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Yeah.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings. So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist. He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream. No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon. Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday. You're reaching here. Oh, I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
Du hast deine Frau getroffen. Kleiner Köter, du. Im Plänchen auch. Was ich jetzt eigentlich. Das wollte ich mal checken.
So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage. Simon was very moral about that sort of thing. He wouldn't just walk out there and sleep with anyone. He wasn't that kind of guy. He took his marriage very seriously. After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing. Sure. Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there. A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with the torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police. Thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I'd been burgled. Only worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
Random, so sie hat sogar so aufgesetzt. Sie denkt, es war Mörder, obwohl sie so die Leiche gefunden hat.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch to make sure the alibi stuck.
Kändes. Hey, das geht mir sehr gut, dankeschön. Ja, was hat sie jetzt da gesagt? Also erstmal hat sie was
Blood out.
ja, Leute. Denken Sie mal noch Bags. Googeln.
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but
So, was hat sie da gesagt?
it happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone.
Ja, so erstmal Broken Mirror. Nee. Brokkoli. Brokkoli. Blood. Blood.
Okay?
So.
I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. He was dead. She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock. Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it. On his throat. How? Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Kollege schreibt mir. Hallo. It's working.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
Wieso?
The mirror.
Nee, das ist der andere Mirror. Aber ich will das trotzdem.
Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Prozent auf Database. Das.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements. I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing and she tore it off. Eventually we grew tired of fighting and I left. This was about 9. I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there. I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder?
No.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm.
Okay.
And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
Nee, ich lüge. Lüge.
Then she told me she wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me. I was family. I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being. We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday. We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Huh?
And the hotel said he was there. Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room. had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.